Hi, I'm Mick Diaz, host and producer of Mick Diaz Presents and your resident arts advocate. And I had an awesome time at the Wendy Lindo show, and I met everyone in her team and had a really great time. So check them out on Facebook and YouTube. It's called the Wendy Lindo Show, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Business Connections, where we help you promote your business and get connected with people. So, for today's episode, I'm very excited and I'm very fortunate because this young lady, she's a very hardworking, she's an entrepreneur. At the same time, she loves arts and she is a giver. So, let me please welcome the one and only Mick Diaz.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Mick Diaz. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure to be here.
Of course. So, magkwentuhan lang tayo, Mick. I know yesterday we saw each other in one of the event, and I want to know, and the viewers of the TBC want to know, who is Mick Diaz?
Yes. So yesterday's event was really fun, right? We
It
met
is.
a lot of people, and a lot of people were telling me, their mission is pretty much the same as my mission. It's really about uplifting the Philam community in whatever way we can.
Yes,
And we saw a lot of that yesterday.
that's true. And what I like about you is I've been seeing you all over social media. You're a public figure, Mick Diaz. You're so popular. So what I like about you is you're a giver. You have a kind heart and you're also helping a lot of young artists. Is that right?
Yes.
Tell me more
That
about
is so
that.
true.
Yes.
So in Nick Diaz Presents, we have a program called Jam Sessions, and we present upcoming artists from our Philam community, and we bring in artists from other communities as well, and we feature them in our show. It's a 1 hour show. Yes.
And recently, you also produced a concert. So, talk about Garth Garcia, and are you planning to have another concert?
So shout out to Garth Garcia who's out there. Hopefully you're watching. And yes, so he's a really great friend and artist. We are coming out with another concert with Garth Garcia along with 4 other artists, and we have pop singer Shekinah Austria. We have Honor Ray, who's an R&B artist. We have Marlon D, who's a rapper from Oxnard in San Diego, along with Sultry, who is also a rapper.
That is great.
Yes.
And you mentioned to me that they're not just a singer, but they're also a composer.
Yes, they actually write their own songs. All of them have written their own songs.
They written their own
Yes.
song. So, Mick Diaz, I've been seeing you on different social media platforms. But what is your goal? Why do you love to help this young artist and the upcoming artists as well?
Well, my goal is really to present performing arts. And in our Philam community, the arts, especially whether it's performing or virtual arts, the arts are often overlooked, and it's something that's sort of an afterthought. In generations before us, the arts weren't looked at as something that people could do, right? Like our parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles have had paths for us to follow, and I'm sure a lot of our generation have followed their footsteps or have followed what they thought their path was for us, right? But I see a lot of these young generation of Philams or Filipinos in our community who are carving their own paths and writing their own songs and putting out stuff out there that they've created themselves. And a lot of it's really out of their passion for doing whatever they wanted to do. And I guess like the older generation or their parents' generation paved the way for them to do whatever they want to do now. And so I'm seeing a lot of that in our community, and what I'm doing is really helping them put out their work out there and be seen by as many people as they can be seen. Yes, and
That's
helping the entire Filipino community as a whole.
So that's your main goal is the Filipino, like bring great talents, right? Because there's a
Yes.
lot of people that can sing and other talented So my question is, when did you start this micdiaz present? Was this pre-COVID or during COVID?
It actually started in September during the pandemic. We started with virtual classes, so I was calling in subject matter experts and asking them all these questions and having them do their own lectures based on different topics. And then we started with interviewing business owners, and it's a business spotlight. And gradually, we just started having interview panels. So we would take different sectors of the Filipino American community. So we had chefs, we had entrepreneurs, we had singers and songwriters in an interview panel. So it's really highlighting the different kinds of Filipino Americans. And the whole goal is to really show that whether we are on top or not, whether we are a famous person or not a famous person, each one of us bring something to the table. Each one of us contribute to our society.
That's true, because you mentioned to me on your show, you don't only invite celebrities. You also wanted to help those who can contribute. It can be like the one that's baking goodies, or maybe from different walks of life. Is that right?
Yes.
You like to really gather all this film and contribute and share their stories.
Yes,
right?
because all of us have our own stories and anyone can learn from each one of us.
Yeah, that's what you told me. So my question is, you started that was during COVID, right? And then you're producing concert and with Garth, and the upcoming it's gonna be in December. And now you have this virtual, and I've been seeing that as well. So what is your goal in the next 5 years? I don't want to say 5 to 10. Let's just look at the long term. In 5 years, where do you see yourself?
My goal is to continue to bring programs that showcase performing and visual arts, bringing in more than just singers, and present dance groups, all kinds of arts, and like painters, and have an exhibition. Yes, and really putting out a program that highlights our Filipino American community.
Got it. So how can you I know your show is very inspirational. I'm motivated with all the guests that in your show. So how can they reach you? Do you have any Facebook account or Instagram account? Maybe you can share that to the people that wanted to contribute some of their stories as well.
Yes. So everybody, check out micdiazpresents on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. And we are also on Kumu. And shout out to everyone who's been supporting us on Kumu. And we're also on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify.
Wow.
And we also have our own website, micdiazpresents.com.
.com,
Yes.
right? And before that, it was your birthday on July. You celebrated that at
Yes.
Neupitz.
Yeah, that
and
was in June 11.
June 11, right?
Yeah.
I wish I was there, and I saw that there's a lot of people that attended. It was a great event, and I saw some of the upcoming artists that was there as well. So now you have a great support system, and I know you're not the only one running the micdiaz. Is that right?
Yes. We do have our co-host, Edwin Hieronymus. So shout out Kuya Ed. He's our co-host, but he is also a sound guy on the side. So he's a DJ and sound person. So hi, Kuya. Yeah, and we have Arvin, who is our tech person. So he does all the tech for our shows, and he's also a network support. That's what he does on a daily basis. So hi, Arvin. Thank you so much, and Kuya Ed also. Thank you so much for all of your help.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, hi to to everyone. And then Mick Diaz, there's a lot of people that loves you. I always hear great things about you. And I know you're also a part of the SoCal Pinoy. And you help a lot of people there to promote their business in that page. So what's the goal of that business page? How many there's 40,000 right now in your
So
group?
yeah, so SoCal Pinoys is now at 43,000.
Wow.
Yes, and so it's a marketplace where you can find all the goodies that you've been looking for and that you've been missing from back home, like ube pandesal, ensaymada. You have fish balls of all kinds, and we're also supporting non-food vendors and service businesses. So you can post any time of the day. And yeah, there's a lot of events and meetups happening now that we're almost out of the pandemic. So everybody come and join SoCal Pinoys if you're out there, and there will be more activities. We just had a meetup, our very, very first meetup 2 weeks ago, and that was a successful event. So thank you for everyone. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting. And there's more to come.
That's great. And I was so amazed how many people are that joined that group. When I think I started joining, it was only on the 30,000. Now it grew to like 43.
Yes, when I joined back in June of last year, there were only 1,800 members
When was that?
in June of 2020.
It was only 2020 and you
Yeah.
grew that
Yeah, so the group itself has been around for 3 years,
I see.
but it really picked up during the pandemic.
during the pandemic
Yeah.
where everyone just highlights different businesses, right?
Yes,
And
yeah.
I know you're not the only one on the SoCal. Maybe you want to say hi to Charles. I know he's also part.
Yeah, so if you're out there and watching, hi to Charles Lawrence Chamorro. Thank you so much for your vision of putting up SoCal Pinoy's Facebook group, and it's certainly helped a lot of people, a lot of businesses, and just people in general trying to connect with each and every one of us, because during the pandemic, we were all at home and there's nothing to do, and that kind of allowed us to connect with everyone else out there in their own homes.
Your passion is really arts,
Yes.
but you're starting building your network and helping this young artist. But what is in your heart? Like your passion is art. So what kind do you want it?
So I'm actually a visual artist. So
Oh,
I'm a
okay.
painter. I actually do watercolor and acrylic painting and photography as well. And I really like watching concerts and listening to music, and that's one of my passions as well. And going to museums. So that's what I do. Those are the things that I love to do.
Listening to music.
Yeah.
I didn't know you're also a painter. Wow.
Yes.
You're very talented,
Yes.
hardworking, very powerful, powerful women. And then, so right now, Mick Diaz, there's a lot of things in your plate because it's a big responsibility you have right now. And you told me that there's one instances like 2 weeks hindi ka nakita sa Facebook and everyone was already asking where you at, right? So that means that you really have to continue to be consistent on what you do, right? So how do you like balance personal life and all this things that's going on right now that's in front of you?
That's something that I have to learn. So if you guys are out there, if anyone has suggestions, let me know. Message me on Facebook, or you can message Wendy as well. I need help with time management. Just kidding. I mean, I see myself making flyers every single day. And you'll find me, like, if you're looking for me, I'm out there making flyers.
Wow. So what does Mick Diaz do on her free time?
On my free time, I'm eating and looking for the best food and culinary haunts out there. Yeah, so everyone, if you guys have suggestions on like restaurants to try or like food to try, or if there are any new food vendors out there, let me know. Yeah, that's like one of my hobbies.
Your hobbies right now. That was during pandemic. That's
Yeah,
when
that's
everyone
right.
gains weight, but who cares, right?
That's right.
You have to live life to the fullest.
That is so. You only live life once, right?
That is right.
Yeah.
So the next last question is, do you have any favorite quotes?
Any favorite quotes? I only have my indomitable spirit.
Okay.
I think that was from Ninoy Aquino. Like he was quoted. That was before. I think that was when he announced his running for
president.
presidency.
Yes.
Yes. And someone had asked like, what are you gonna do?
Yes.
Like, and he was like, regardless of what happens, like he only had his indomitable spirit, and that was so true. That was so evident, back in the 80s when we all witnessed, what happened.
The change.
Right?
Yes. Well, thank you, Mick Diaz. Do you have any other things to say before we end the show?
Yes, I do. Actually,
Please.
Actually, yes. So there are a lot of things that we've been working on. Diaz Presents is going to be relaunching our Who Are We and Jam Sessions show every Thursday and Friday. So that's something that we have been working on as a group, and you'll be seeing more of that in September. So that's when we're launching it. And we do have a fundraiser concert happening in December with our good friend and pop singer Garth Garcia, pop singer Shekinah Austria, R&B singer Honore, rapper Sultry, and Marlon D in December. And so we're looking for sponsors, and we're looking for people who want to help us out. And we are fundraising for the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, the Grace of God Almighty Church, and that's Shekinah's church, and also the Red Cross. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I also saw some of your merch. Brian, I
Yes.
saw that on Facebook.
Okay, yes.
Your
And
shirt, please tell them
yes,
about
we
it.
do have merch. So we've had designs for T-shirts and other kinds of merch coming out. We've had them for several months now, and we are finally launching it soon.
Tell
Yeah,
them
soon.
what's in the shirt.
Soon,
That's a
yeah.
very nice.
So
yes.
everything kind of relates to the theme of Mick Diaz Presents, which is shine, letting other people shine,
Yes.
and telling other people that it's their time to shine now.
I love
so
that.
it's I shine bright. I'm a star. Yeah, it's your time to shine. So everything that has to do with that theme.
Great. I love that. When I saw that couple of days ago, I was like, I want one. So I need one, Mick Diaz.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here. I'm just so fortunate with your busy schedule. And thank you for sharing your stories. And please support Mick Diaz. She's very credible, and she's love to help. She's a giver. And please support all her events. And also say hi to Garth Garcia, which is our friend. So again, this is Wendy Lindo. And if you want to watch the full episode of my interview with Mick Diaz, please follow the Wendy Lindo Show on Facebook. And I also have the YouTube, the Wendy Lindo Show. So again, thank you for watching The Business Connections.